This world's gone crazy. Jesus save me. With all thumbs and breeds my reality now. This world's gone crazy.
Thank you for having me.
The conversation strayed. She didn't want to explain how the wild side of life had caused her so much pain. When she read between the lines, she found her script was someone else's lies. She heard the words of her mama's advice.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, it's time for the second hour. We had a band performance, or actually a live performance from Doug Bowen, and now we have Rob Zinck and the Collaborators. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
All right, how is everything?
It's good, man. It's good.
You
Boys,
ready?
How are you doing? Dan, you good?
Doing pretty good,
Phil,
man.
you good? Good enough. Yeah.
All right. So, are you guys ready to rock and roll?
Yeah. We didn't really put together a actual set list. I figured we'd just kind of pick stuff and work through the catalog.
Do whatever the fuck you want. I like
sounds
that.
great.
I like that.
I try my best to do that, but a lot of times things get in the way.
Yeah, this is true. All right. What would you like to start out with then, sir?
So we're gonna play. I think we're gonna play all the songs off the record, but most of them. But we're gonna start with the song that kind of kickstarted the project. It's called "We Aren't Friends." It goes silent at the entrance. They're greeting me, cowardly, weak sheep in wolfskin. You make me ill. You aren't for real. You're free to pretend, but we aren't friends. 'Cause you can't be real. It's obvious you were lying then, or you're lying now, because your story keeps changing, and you make me ill. You aren't for real. You're free to pretend, but we aren't friends. 'Cause you can't be real. Winter came and iced out our laughter.
So, what we usually do after the first track, we go around the room, you introduce yourselves. Keep in mind, some of the streaming platforms we use are not video, so that's hence why you have to introduce yourself. Starting with you, sir.
Hi, I'm Dan Radlick. I'm the bass player for Rob Zinck and the Collaborators.
My name's Phil, and I am the drummer.
And last but not least,
My name is Rob. I am the Rob.
so how did you come up with that name, Rob Zinck?
It was a long process of writing songs for other bands and then those bands breaking up and deciding that I'm going to do this under my own name now. And then I won't have to have that problem again.
Didn't have to spend nights, drinking 40s, coming up with a name, together.
No, and that's one of my least favorite discussions ever because you always end up with, like, I've heard, as I'm sure all of us have, the worst ideas for band names in those discussions. Like,
We've definitely all grown tired of it.
I mean, that's not true. That's not true that you have the worst ones. You really don't like mine.
Tell us about that, Dan.
I don't know. The one that I was really hoping we'd go for, because I always call him Bobby Z. And we were playing along, and he makes he hollers out going hoo-wee, and so I thought Bobby Z and hoo-wee would be really great, but you'd have to be like Bobby Z and hoo-wee.
I mean, it is good, but
It's a little kitschy.
a little, but
You just never know. I mean, people talk about it at the very beginning when they came up with the name The Beatles. People ridiculed that name.
I mean, I have a theory that there are no good band names. Every band name is stupid.
Right, and it's the band that makes it good, not the name itself. I tell this story all the time. I remember I was the first in my group of people my age that got into Smashing Pumpkins, and when I talked about them, people just looked at me and laughed, like, who the fuck? And they made fun of me. So 2-3 years later, they're going to see that band for like 5 times the price, at bigger arenas.
You should have listened, huh? Yeah.
Told you so.
So yeah. All right, so we got lots of great songs, and you said most from the newest release, that's Sink or Swim, right?
Swimmer Sink.
Swimmer Sink,
Yes.
see? You gotta realize I'm old. I have dementia.
Well, I also most people say it the other way around. It's just a quirk of mine.
I got a mnemonic
We're
device.
just being difficult.
Yeah.
It's Swimmer Sink rhymes with Rob Zinck,
Yes.
and that's how you remember.
It's actually a very dumb old man joke from our neighbor that lived across the street when I was a kid.
Okay.
Called me Swimmer because he thought it was funny to say Swimmer Zinc. So it is somewhat
Okay.
Self-titled, but not.
So it still goes back to old people. I see how it is.
Well,
It all does.
it goes back to just the silly things that you remember from your childhood.
When growing up, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's nice how that comes back and you can actually enjoy it and do something
and,
with it.
And I mean, with this one specifically, this is the first release under my name, so it's not necessarily an autobiographical record, but I'd having gone through the experiences that I did the couple of years leading up to starting this project and deciding I guess I'm ready now to do it as myself. There is a lot of stuff on there that I've pulled from my own life. So
Yeah, nice.
Yep.
Okay, what do we have now?
What do you guys think? Here's what we do at practice. Phil, you pick.
Invocation.
All right. The joke I always make with this one is it's about summoning a demon, but if you play it backwards, it sounds like Stairway to Heaven. So
Oh, no.
nobody play the broadcast backwards. You get Scott sued.
Speak the words well out of sight.
who are worthy, be worthy of praise. Nicotines the mind to shine. So why don't I? So why don't I? So why don't I? Please believe me. Reach out with your voice. Hastily lay hands on me. They're left without a choice. That's what you want to do. These are directions for you. If that's what you want to do, these are directions for you. Nothing broken, nothing bent, nothing out of place. Praise me unto all worthy, be worthy of praise. God can teach the mind to shine.
All right. So, how long has it been, Rob Zinck and the Collaborators?
Man, well, we got together for the first time in January of 2020, so you know what happened there.
Okay.
But we started jamming more seriously that summer after things had calmed down a little bit, and then I had a kid. And, well, more accurately,
Shame on you for
my
doing
wife
that.
had a kid, and
Yeah, it's her fault.
I helped a little. You know, I still help out a little. And so we kind of like took a break in like September through November of that year, and then in the winter of 2021, we like actually started working on stuff, started working up a set. Felt like okay, now we can start playing, and then we played our first show later that year, and just kind of been going ever since.
Now, were you playing the three of you, Dan and Phil, before you formed Rob Zinck and the Collaborators?
So
or-
Dan and I were in a band called The Means. That was my first like
okay, I remember that.
like I'm in charge singer-songwriter
I met him
project.
on Craigslist.
Yeah, I answered an ad for a singer on Craigslist, and
I'm getting more and more stories like that. Well, not. I mean, they're real, true life stories, right?
yeah,
It was a strange time in 2010.
yeah, but yeah, it was that weird time where like you could do stuff like that on the internet, and it wasn't just full of like
Psycho.
spam bots or like yeah, exactly.
Yeah, AI. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then that band kind of like we fizzled out after we released our second EP, just because I just didn't have anything left in the tank. And then I got recruited to sing lead like without a guitar for a band that Phil was drumming for, that was unnamed at the time, that became Loggerheads. And we'd kind of like Phil and I kind of, I think we both kind of felt like odd man out in that band because our musical tastes were more like punk rock and less like garage rock and blues based and stuff. And so we would kind of commiserate over like, wouldn't it be fun to start a punk band? And then when it came time to actually like, all right, like I'm going to see if I can put a project together, it was a natural choice to hit Phil up about it. And I wanted to work with Dan again because Dan comes up with excellent bass lines that like complement what I'm playing. He seems to know what I'm thinking without me having to say it. Sometimes he knows what I'm thinking even when I'm like, no, that's not what I'm thinking. It's very specifically not it. And we'll play it a few times and it's like, oh, yeah, all right, that's good.
You were right.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes me a little while to get it up to speed.
So you've kind of circled in and out of each other's lives, and finally, this is where you landed.
Yeah, in fact, these guys knew each other before I even moved to Michigan in 2010.
Played briefly in a band with him called Rob's Friday Night, where he was playing.
Total
Different
coincidence.
Rob.
Different Rob.
No
different
relation.
Rob. Yeah. It's just a fun synchronicity. But he was playing guitar in that band.
Yep, all intertwined in the music.
And this is where we've come. Cool.
Here we are.
All right, why don't we do another one? What do you have?
Let's try Behave.
get up, not naked. Be in love, you got to behave. Be in love, you got to behave for my heart. From now on.
Yeah, Rob Zinck and the Collaborators. So what we heard so far, that's from the new one?
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Okay, and if I remember correctly, because I know I was there. Yeah, I think I was there. This is actually available on vinyl, isn't it?
Correct. It is. Yes.
Should have brought one to show for the cameras.
Oh yeah, that would have been a great idea.
Use your imagination.
You'll just have to imagine it. It's very nice.
I think I can imagine vinyl. I can imagine all kinds of things. But I'm a child of the 70s. So.
Yeah, and it's $25 on Bandcamp, free shipping. So hit me up, baby.
Yeah, go to, let's see, we're coming up, what is,
Bandcamp Friday, I think, is next Friday.
not
Yeah.
this Friday, not tomorrow, but the next one.
Yes.
I always remind people to bring that up because 100% goes to the bands, and that's awesome.
Which is nice. Yes.
Nice change of pace.
About the only conglomerate anymore that gives two you-know-whats
Well,
about
I
musicians.
hope it stays that way because they just sold to some awful like hedge fund type company or something. So
Yeah, I hate to say it, but it'll stay great for a while, and then all of a sudden, when nobody's looking, wham!
yeah, they'll a private equity firm will buy it and then use it to take out a bunch of debt and then saddle it with that debt and then walk away with big bonuses while it shutters or something. But
While we all suffer in the process.
Well, at least you're not
Exactly.
selling all you can eat shrimp for $20.
Yeah, not yet anyway.
that's Well, fun fact. That's working at Red Lobster is how I met my wife. So it's
Really?
not all bad. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
well, that was back in the good old days.
Yeah, I worked in the kitchen. She was the only server that was nice to me. All of the other ones were very mean. Very, very mean.
Which, I can't say much for her intelligence because she married you. But when you're a server, you know that you have to be nice to the cook.
Yeah.
It
Well,
doesn't
I
work that
wasn't a cook. I was the dummy that just took the food and put it on the plate.
But still.
It was one of those like, all right, I moved here. I need a job. Like, give me anything.
Yeah, but still, the people are responsible for preparing the food
Yeah.
in any capacity to give it to you as a server. You learn real quickly. You don't want to piss them off.
Yes, but she was very kind and very pretty, and we hit it off pretty quickly. So
So you took good care of her when she had her orders.
I like to think I still do.
You hear that, Mrs. Zinck?
Think whatever you want.
All right, let's do another one.
All right. Well, we told you we were going to do a new song today, so we're
Awesome.
going to do a new song
so
today.
this is a world premiere.
This is a world premiere. This is the first time anybody has heard this.
Yes.
I think I think it still might be a little bit of a work in progress, but this is going to be one of those great things where you can say, when you hear the final version, like, oh man, like I remember that when, like, it was like this and like that. Like, if you go back and you listen to any like live performances where any like well-known band is trying out a new song,
Yeah,
it
demo or
always,
whatever, yeah.
You're right, exactly. So one of the things I wanted to do with this project was not be so stingy about like, it's not done until it's done. So we're kind of like workshopping stuff. But this is called Launder My Head.
Launder
Well, you got a thumbs up from me. That'll work. I don't. It doesn't seem like it needs much polishing.
You know, there's a lyrical concept there that I'm kind of working on, but yeah, I mean, I'm surprised at how quickly it came together. We started like really working on that maybe, like 3 or 4 practices ago.
Okay.
Yep.
It's still relatively an infant then.
Yeah, but man, it feels really good to be writing stuff because I think the last new song we added to the set was like late 2022, like right before we started recording in January.
Was it Behave or Invocation?
No, that was
White shoes.
White Shoes.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So we've been playing the same set for a while now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does it usually begin? Do you start writing the lyrics, and do you come up with the melody normally, and
It kind of
they kick in with the rest, or?
Most of the time, like, I mean, for me, like, it can start with, like, just dicking around on the guitar, or, like, I'll get, like, a vocal melody idea, and I'll, like, you know, do, like, a voice recording of myself doing, like, the do-do-dos. But most of the time, I bring them a, like, skeleton of a song. Maybe it doesn't have a bridge yet. Maybe I know that, like, okay, here's all the basic pieces, but there still needs to be some connective tissue between this stuff. Like, when I brought this one, that entire bridge section basically didn't exist. And what I'm figuring out is that I write, like, 5 songs that all sound like that, right?
Okay.
And then I take the pieces from each one that work, and I fit them together, and then the other ones get kind of, like, discarded.
Interesting.
So I kind of, like, when I come up with these ideas, I'll get stuck in a mode of writing, and then I'll come up with like 3 or 4 ideas that are not fully there, but they're in the same key, they're the same basic vibe, they kind of go together, and then start piecing those things together and pulling from, oh, like this would work really well if I go into this part from that other thing that I'm working on.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you know, it's often a long process with me. Like some of the songs that we've got here have been stuff that I've been kicking around for like 10 years that for one reason or another, like, I just can't get it to work, or I'm not that interested in it right now. And then suddenly I have that moment of like, oh, like, here's how it all goes together. Now I get it. And a lot of times that's, you know, because these guys start doing stuff that like I'm not going to think of because I'm not a bass player or a drummer.
Right.
I can do both, not particularly well. But, you know, Dan knows his instrument. Phil knows his instrument. He knows how to, they both know how to, like, slot themselves into the song, make it better than the sum of its parts. So.
Yeah, and this band in particular, all my other bands have really hammered everything out with everyone in the room from start to finish writing a song, mostly aside from the lyrics. And that's great and it's fun, but it does become daunting sometimes. So for Rob to come in with part of a song, even just pieces, you know, that he's already come up with, and then we come in and just kind of fill in, and then we give him ideas. The in the room writing process together, I think, is better for it, because we're not like, we got to write 10 parts. We just got to come up with 2 or 3 more instead. You know what I mean? So. And
a lot of times I end up going away from that with like, okay, now I know, now I have an idea of what I'd like to do here. Or I'll have something that, like, again, just like I was saying with Dan's bass parts, like these guys will come up with stuff that I'm like, no, man, like that is not what I have in mind at all. And then I chew on it for a couple of days. I'm like, damn, that's a really good idea. Like, okay. So, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes things don't always grab you right away. And it sounds more like a brainstorming process as opposed to just, okay, this is what we're trying to accomplish, you know. Yeah. Instead of trying, you know, like, this is the project, this is how we're going to do it, and okay, you know.
I mean, I definitely, like, I do have a little bit of that.
He's
like,
a czar when he needs to be, but, you know, for the most part, he does try to stay true to the name of the act. I mean, you know, we collaborate on stuff, and, you know, I love it when he comes in, he's like, hey, I got these 3 or 4 different songs, and, you know, it's great, because, like, you know, sometimes something will grab us, like, right away, it's like, yeah, that one, or, like, sometimes it'll be like, well, I don't know how I feel about that one, then we'll revisit it, like, 6 months later, and, like, okay, well, we figured it out, so.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's definitely an element of, like, okay, like, this is my vision for this. But I'm also, like, smart enough and not, like, egotistical enough to think that, like, oh, well, I can do everything from, like, point A to point Z, you know? I've tried that. It's hard. I don't like it.
It's very daunting.
I thought that's what this was going to be. I kind of thought I was going to do like, solo in my bedroom thing and, just get some recording stuff and figure it out myself. And man, I hate post-production and audio engineering, which, shout out to Alan for being a talented audio engineer because Lord knows I would just sit down and cry if I was in front of that booth. Like I can't do nothing, man.
He's got ghosts that move the board. I saw them.
All right, what's next? What do you think, Dan? Your pick, bud.
Let's go ahead and do our B-side. Let's do a H5N.
Okay, yeah. So this one is not on the record. It's a pretty old song, but this is the only band that I've ever performed it with. It's about a global pandemic that destroys the world. I wrote it in 2009, so oops.
Your fault again.
So this one's H5N 666.
You guys have any shows coming up at all? Or
June 14th, we're at Lager House with a band from, I think, Tennessee called the Stroppers that are very cool.
How do you spell that?
The Strppers, the Stroppers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there an A in there?
Huh?
Is there an A in there?
No, it's I think it's the Stroppers, like, you ever see like a old timey like straight razor shave where they're like they're sharpening it on the leather? That's called a strop. Because I looked up what the hell is a stropper. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's you, the Stroppers, and anybody else?
I think there's another band coming with them, but they haven't told us yet. So,
Okay.
well, actually, there's probably a flyer, but no, I don't know.
You can look it up on all the
Yeah.
media sites. So that's June 14th.
Correct.
You said that's a Friday, I believe?
I think that's a Saturday. I don't know. I'd look at my phone, but I'm not going to be the guy that pulls out my phone right now. But it's definitely June 14th.
It is a Friday. I know that now.
Is it?
I had to
Okay.
think about it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so looking forward to that. And then I think we have July off. And then we're bringing a band from Chicago called The Simpsons. Not The Simpsons, but The Simpsons. To the Old Miami to play.
Okay.
And Elspeth Tremblay and The Treatment said
Nice.
a
We
couple of
both
days
know
ago,
them.
that they I got them on board too. So I'm very excited about that. Simpsons do a thing where their lead singer is a saxophone player. So I thought that The Treatment has that horn player, and like they've got kind of I wouldn't say they have a similar vibe, but it fits nicely on the bill. And I also happen to really like that band.
Good reason to do it, yeah. Okay. All right, let's do another one.
Okay, my pick. So this was the first single off of the record. It's called You Then Me. It is about the night that we woke up and my wife told me my water broke, we've got to go to the hospital, and we did. So we woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Isn't that how it always happens?
And at 10 o'clock that night, we had a son. So it's about that adventure from the okay, time to go, to wow, I can't believe this actually happened to us.
I like how you did that. Called it an adventure.
Yeah, well,
You could do that afterwards.
it was, I mean, especially being pregnant in 2020 was, we found out 2 weeks before everything went crazy.
South, yeah.
Thankfully, I'm a paranoid weirdo, so I had kind of been following the news and knew that it was likely to be an issue. I didn't think it was going to be as big of an issue as it was. But, but yeah, it was definitely an adventure. But yeah, this is called You Then Me.
3:30 a.m. Awake to make the call and take a shower, we leave within the hour. Empty the freeway. Carry us along with songs we sang and shared as we prepared. We ate, we need, we wait to see when we'll learn a brand new name. We push and bleed, fight and bleed, all to play the counting game. Play the counting game. Softly at first, I hear you, I hear you. Barely at first, I see you, I see you. We ache, we need, we wait to see when we'll learn a brand new name. We push and bleed, fight and bleed, all to play the counting game. Play the counting game. Time to feel the shine on the drums. We ache, we need, we wait to see when we learn a brand new name. We push, bleed, fight, and bleed, all to play the counting game. Play the
I feel like I'm at an audition.
Do
I
you?
feel like you're screening me for like, all right, if you get in this commercial, it's gonna be big, but I got to hear the stuff first.
You found me out.
We do appreciate you having us. I'm so glad we finally got to make it work. For the folks at home, I canceled twice on Scott because I have a toddler in daycare, so I'm constantly sick. And he was kind enough to not hold that against me, at least not for long enough for it to be a problem. So thanks, partner. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. It didn't hurt that he bribed me with a lot of drugs, too. So.
Yeah, but now
Yeah.
we get to join you for your 100th episode.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, and congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you.
Congrats.
So you had a master plan after all.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're smarter than you look.
Yeah, absolutely. My plan was to be horribly sick for like 6 weeks, and then
Nailed it.
100. Yes, we can do it. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't think I'd make it to 100, but that's all right. That's another story.
Here you are.
And 100 more.
100 more. There you go. All right, let's keep it going.
all right. This one's called "Before I Was, But Now I Am."
Me too, buddy. Me too.
Ready? Go for it. Don't play it faster than the record.
Oh, me, I don't want it. I don't need it. Oh, me, I don't know it. I can feel it. Before I was sad, but now I'm drunk. Before I was sad, but now I'm drunk. Before I was sad. The more I seek, the less I find. Typically, I try to find nothing. All this consciousness, consciously seeking an ending. Oh, I was sad, but now I'm drunk. Oh, I was sad, but now I'm drunk. Oh, I was sad, but
Yeah.
I was doing real good until I was like, wait, I need to turn off my fuzz here, and I'm like, can't step.
You
on
had a
things.
separate thought. And,
Yeah, I had a separate thought. It totally threw me off track.
Yeah, I can't have separate thoughts anymore. It's gone. So.
That's another very old one, but it's one of the things I like about this project is that you've heard us go from a very slow song in the beginning to that, and that's another one of the reasons I like working with these guys because they let me test my theory that like you can be a like very punky band and also a like very, I don't want to say like emo or soft band, but like lots of dynamics. If it all just sounds like Social Distortion the entire time, it's like, oh, cool, that song was cool. Man, that song's pretty cool too. Man, that song's a lot like the last one. Okay, we're still doing this. Like,
I just remember.
no disrespect to Social D.
No.
I just remember when you called me about this project, and you're like, Dan, I'm done with rock and roll. I'm not doing any more fast songs. I'm over it.
And
Here,
then-
check this out.
And then we got in the
I'm
room.
Broadway bound.
And then we got in the room, and it was like, oh, actually, like these guys can hack it, and oh man, like this is actually fun again. So yeah.
You got to keep it interesting. That's the bottom line there.
Yeah. What do we got left?
So we can get.
All right.
I think we can get what 3 more. I want to say.
Let's do another fast one. This is called "The White Shoes Are Coming."
Sovereignty, empowered to decide the exception to the rule of law to institute top-down rule for the state's security. The white shoes are coming. What makes the state a monopoly on legitimate violence again? All actors, public and private sector, wielding supranational deep power for capital.
That's why I have no hearing left. But I love it.
What do we got left?
You got all kinds of tracks.
Hey,
This is my 100th show. Keep going.
Probably finish it up. Maybe we should probably do the title track. for the record.
We can end with that. Let's do OJ and then the title track. We've got
Can we
just
do
enough time.
Manly?
Let's do Manly.
Yeah,
That's
let's
a
do
good
Manly,
idea.
because
Yeah,
I feel like Manly doesn't get enough love.
you're right.
So what's Manly?
Manly, spelled like the town that I grew up in, not like the condition of being like
A manly
a tough
man?
guy. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's Manly on?
Interior Alaska.
That's where you grew up?
Yeah.
Tell
have we not had this talk?
Tell them the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, real
we're on
quick.
TV.
Yeah, I was born and raised in rural Alaska. I moved here when I was 22.
So you're
after I
like
was
one of
done with
those
school.
weird people, like a northern exposure?
That's no offense, a little before my time, but
He is one of those weird people. Though.
I definitely am one of those weird people. But
Wow. That's
yeah, this is my growing up in a small town and wondering what the hell else is out there song.
Okay. And you landed in Detroit. That was a shock, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Got drunk and woke up with plane tickets, and I was like, I guess I'm going.
worth it.
It's okay to wanna be the dirt that feeds the trees. Just don't you know acting on any of your favorite thoughts. It's a long way down, further down than most. It's a long way down, feeling tremble. Is it alright to be here? And hell no, you got no right to be here. Just know what you would call a cottage home was the only one I'd known. The land was green and rich and lush. The lives it gave were poor. It was a long way out, further out than most. It was a long way out, feeling tremble. Is it alright to be here? Hell no, you got no right to be here. Just know. Tell them that we went to the beach. Tell them all the secrets that are hardest to keep. Tell them that we sat by the sand, let the ocean provide all we had. It's a long way out, further out than most. It's a long way out, feeling tremble. Is it alright to be here? And hell no, you got no right to be here. Just know.
All right. So, Dan, Rob, Phil, thank you so much for coming here and helping me celebrate my 100th episode, not year.
Thank you for having us and congratulations. And yeah, thanks for all the good work that you do around the Detroit music scene, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
My
Thank you.
pleasure. My pleasure. I enjoy this so much. All right, you're going to leave us with one more.
This is the title track from the record Swimmer Sink. It is called Swimmer Sink. You can buy it at robzinc.com.
1, 2, 3, 4. Here at the lake, here have a drink. It's a good one. Will it be the same? Will it keep me sane? Will it turn me on? Reckless
Thank you. I'm Rob Zinck. These are Dan and Phil, my collaborators. Please check us out, and thanks again, Scott, for having us.